Hello. Today I am sitting in the...
New Alexandria United Methodist Church.
I thought I had you there for a second. And I am sitting with, do you like Pastor?
Pastor
I am sitting with Pastor
Sharon Waltenbaugh.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for taking time to do this interview. I appreciate that. You were telling me earlier you've been at this church 5 years?
5.5 years.
Yes.
Yes, it will be 6 years, God willing.
God willing, yes. We never know about tomorrow.
Yes, we never know about tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that's
or
good.
the appointment season, yes.
Was this your first church?
This was not my first church. I began ministry in 2011.
Okay.
And served multiple point churches. And when I hesitated to say New Alexandria, I also serve Saltsburg United Methodist Church.
Oh, all right.
So,
Is that an every other Sunday thing, or you do both?
Same Sunday.
What are the times of your services?
Worship here at New Alec is at 9:30, and then we travel to Saltsburg for service at 11 o'clock.
Oh, all right. Well, that keeps you very busy. I assume there's a nap about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock for you?
Getting home about 1 o'clock, yes. Lunch, and then turn football on, take a nap.
Oh,
NASCAR season's coming, take a nap.
I certainly can relate, except I'm too tired to even turn the TV on. I just zonk out on the couch. What is the address of the church here, and the address of your church in Saltsburg?
It is 106 Washington Street here in New Alexandria. If you know where the feed store is on Route 22, they sell feed. We come here to be fed.
Oh, that's a good angle. That's a good motto. And in Saltsburg?
In Saltsburg, it is on Salt Street. The easiest way to find it is to go on Main Street across from what is famously known as the Saltsburg Bridge, take a right, and follow that street to the end.
And how long have you been at Saltsburg?
Same amount of time, but I had served them in a previous appointment.
Oh, all right.
Back in 2011. I was there with them for 3 years. So we've been reacquainted.
Well, the fact that they welcomed you back, that says a lot for you, unless they think you're a bad penny and you keep turning up.
Could be.
Maybe so. They're just cursed to have you.
Well,
I'm kidding, of course. Yeah. So what made you get into the ministry?
It was a call. I've had several career moves through the years. Mm-hmm. I know that my age is not displayed, my years, but I was a machinist at Fisher Scientific in Indiana until they closed its doors. Yeah. And that was right out of high school, and then there were other jobs along the way. Mm-hmm. And I worked driving school bus for several years, and I think that's where I really felt the call. Mm-hmm. And leaving bus driving, I worked at a large pharmaceutical distributor in Indiana, and one night, I worked midnight shift, and one night, as I finished up my task, I got home and said, Lord, what do you want from me? And
we've all been there.
Yes, and to hear the words, you can speak. And so I immediately grabbed the Bible that was beside the bed, and you do this, and you come to Exodus, and the words of Moses said, but I cannot speak eloquently. And the Lord said, good. I will give you Aaron. Yeah. So then you close it, and you say a little prayer thinking that you would open the page to where Jesus wept, because you're about to say no. And so I opened the Bible again to John, where it said, I chose you, you didn't choose me. And I thought this confirms my call. Right. So the next evening, then when I went to work, I asked my supervisor how many weeks of a notice I needed to give. Hadn't talked to my husband.
Well, you didn't waste time.
I didn't even talk to my husband.
I would have lingered for like 5 years. Wow.
I left a note in capital letters on the counter for my husband that said, we need to talk when I get home. Right. And went the next day to the HR department and said, I feel this calling, and her name was Denise, and she said, I wondered how long it was going to take.
Really?
So
wow.
It's interesting how we don't see those things.
No.
And I say that to everyone. We will not see those things in our lives. We see them in others.
I have sort of that same testimony, not to steal your time, but when I was growing up, everyone thought I'd be a pastor but me. I said, well, I don't want to be a pastor. I just didn't. And then, of course, sometimes people, the others are watching you, they're just like that girl in HR. She was just waiting to see when is this going to happen. Mm-hmm. Well, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been, and I am not ordained an elder in the United Methodist Church. I am a local licensed pastor. So I have taken seminary level classes, but have not gone through the provisional membership of the church, the denomination. I've been asked many times, well, when are you going to be ordained? And I don't believe that God calls everyone to be ordained. So I am appointed to a community, to a body of people. And I just love that part, because I don't feel that I need to be ordained for any reason.
Right. You were chosen by God, and that should be good enough.
To be planted and plucked, no matter where I'm called to go.
Now, I am interested, because I came close one time to serving two churches at the same time. When a pastor like yourself serves two churches at the same time, is it the same? I mean, I don't want you to pick your favorite. Please, I won't put you on the hot seat for that. But are the personalities the same? Is the atmosphere the same when you go from the one to the other? Or
very much so.
That's good.
Very much so.
So you don't have to change. You don't have to change you to go from one church to the other.
They're different, but I do not change me. Yeah. I am who I am. As a matter of fact, when I came to New Alexandria, had already served in Saltsburg, they knew me, but some individuals at New Alex said, we had no idea what we were getting as a pastor. Oh. And
they were pleasantly surprised.
They were surprised.
Okay.
They were surprised because I am very flexible in worship. We come here not as thinking that we are set apart in righteousness or that degree of righteousness. We are here because of the righteousness that God has given us, that privilege to serve Him. And so we can come here, and I would invite anyone to come just as you are, and allow God to speak to your heart. We are blessed by music in this congregation. Yeah. In the Saltsburg Church, we are blessed with people who are very giving and are mission and outreach minded. When
you say you're blessed with music, are you blessed with people who love music, or are you blessed with talent? How do you mean that?
Both. Both. The congregations, the people of this congregation love to sing. And we are very blessed with Rose Warner. She is a retired pastor who, the first Sunday that I heard her play, I thought we were going to have to call a trustees meeting because I thought sure she broke the piano.
Oh.
She is 93 or 94, and she's just amazing.
Oh, wow.
She is amazing.
It's like she has three hands.
Oh, yes. And you don't... She's a slightly built woman, and yesterday when her praise was, I'm here, and I said, well, we heard you before we saw you. So she keeps the worship service very much alive with music, and we are blessed here at the church. We have a lot of organists and pianists, and we're blessed with special services with instruments. We're visited occasionally by who I will call a sister church, the Second Baptist Church in Blairsville.
Oh, that's
that will
nice.
come and sing. So
It's
music
nice that
is a big thing.
You cross denominational lines.
We are very ecumenical.
Yeah.
Very ecumenical.
It's nice they feel welcome to come.
And we are very glad for them to share in our worship services.
We are, at the time of this interview, we're still freshly into 2024, and I just want to get your take. Where do you see the year going? Do you think that there are more challenges or more blessings? What do you think the big obstacle or the big challenges for Christianity in this new year?
I believe as a church we need to continue doing what we're doing. The sermons that I have been focusing on, and the Lord has given me the word on, is that He will restore. And I believe that when we think about those words, I will restore, coming from the Lord, it will be His promise of restoration. But I believe that God is working to restore His church. Mm-hmm. And I can see that movement happening here in New Alexandria as people have become more involved, stepping up. Yes, we have our challenges, but I believe that every organization goes through those times where they're changing, they're moving, they're growing. We have had a lot since we are an older congregation. We have had to face mortality. Mm-hmm. And that has struck us very hard in the last year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But it causes us then to move ahead and make more memories in new areas.
That's a nice way to put it. Plus, they're waiting on the other side for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's always nice to have.
Absolutely.
Friends to greet you.
So, even though we face those challenges, we have learned from the past that we can go forward and learn from the past of how we make those things happen and how we do it together, not just the pastor, right, not the congregation, but how we do it together, how we grow together.
That's tremendous. As we come to the end of the time has just flown by talking to you. I've really enjoyed this. As we come to the end, I'm just going to give the camera over to you. You say what you want. Give an encouraging word or share your favorite Bible passage or whatever you'd like to do. This time is yours.
I believe that my favorite passage is Jeremiah 18, verses 1 through 6. That as Jeremiah was called to the potter's house, he knew that the potter would be there. The potter would not be missing. The potter was interacting with the clay. And Jeremiah saw that the clay was marred. It was not perfect. And I believe that we serve a God who, through the hands of His Son, Jesus Christ, continues to work on our imperfections. Here at the New Alexandria Church, and also, if I can plug, the Saltsburg United Methodist Church also at this time, we find ourselves full of imperfections. But God is continuing to lay His hands upon us and to make us see that we're worth the effort to repair us and to bring us to wholeness, that we would continue to be ministers throughout this congregation, throughout the community, and out into the world. I believe that that's what God is using us for.
Well, this has just been an absolute pleasure. Thank you
You're
for
so
making
welcome.
time for me. I appreciate
so
that.
welcome.
And until next time, God bless.
God bless you also.